Slaughterhouse Five is a weird book about war, or time, or aliens? I don't really know. But in all seriousness, Slaughterhouse Five is a novel written by Kurt Vonnegut in 1969. The book is hesitantly categorized as an anti-war novel. While the author claims there is no real protagonist, Billy Pilgrim is the closest thing we have to one. Billy Pilgrim is a World War II veteran who became a filthy rich optometrist after the war. He claims that he became unstuck in time during the war, and also that he was abducted by aliens called the Tremalfadors. They're apparently friendly and can see through the fourth dimension. So without further ado, I present Billy Pilgrim himself.
I've revisited many different moments in my life due to time travel. I guess if I had to pick one moment, though, it would be the time I spent with the Tralfamadorians on their planet. The most important thing I learned on Tralfamador was that when a person dies, they only appear to die. He is still very much alive in the past, so it is very silly for people to cry at his funeral. All moments, past, present, and future, always have and always will exist. Now, when I myself hear that somebody is dead, I simply shrug and say what the Tralfamadors say about dead people. And so it goes. If I were to retire from optometry, I know what happens next in my life. I'm not going to take up a different job. But if I did, you ever heard of an author called Kilgore Trout? No, of course you haven't, because he can't write to save his life. But I still think everyone ought to read his books, even if they're really terrible. Maybe I'd be his agent. Maybe more people would read his books. Oh, I will die, have died, and always will die on February 13th, 5 years from now. So it goes. That's how the moment is constructed. I'll be in Chicago, giving a speech about what I learned on Tralfamador. I'm going to tell the crowd that I'll be shot, explaining that that's not necessarily a bad thing. Then I'll say farewell and be shot with a high-powered laser gun. So it goes. Well, my daughter Barbara likes to think that I'm crazy. I guess other people do too. But that's because they've never been unstuck in time or have seen the fourth dimension. I'm not strong. You see, the thing about being in a war, getting unstuck in time, all the rest means that sometimes I don't really get the importance of life. I gave up looking for a reason to live a long time ago. But I guess you can say that's also a strength, that I actually haven't given up on living, because I know that I will, always have, and always will be dead in 5 years anyways.
The author offers many interesting commentaries on many different topics throughout the novel. Some notable ones are, of course, time and war, but the author also touches on more obscure ideas such as how Americans treat the poor, or how Americans present themselves to the rest of the world. The novel brings up many thought-provoking topics, then leaves the reader to figure them out for themselves. There are many quirky aspects to this book, and if anything else, you can just read it for the dark and morbid humor. So it goes.